Hello class, my name is Sarah and today I will be discussing the United States in the Middle East. Specifically, I will be arguing for Debate 4, Side B. Due to human rights abuses and bombings on Yemen, the United States should not continue to support Saudi Arabia with weapons and other military help. I will discuss some reasons why I believe it is necessary for the United States to cut back or even stop supporting Saudi Arabia militarily, particularly with weapons. Although Saudi Arabia is strategically critical for the United States' Middle East foreign policy, I think the time has come to scale back or cease military support for this country. Some reasons why I support this argument include that in addition to ongoing human rights committed by Saudi Arabia against its own people, there are more recent events like the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi that further back up why we need to scale back our military ties with the country. I will also go over how Saudi Arabia is heavily involved in the Yemen conflict and why we need to stop aiding the Saudis with military aid and weapons. First of all, human rights abuses have occurred for a long time in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi government enforces Sharia law, which is quite brutal. For example, thieves get their hands cut off for stealing. Women's rights are also abysmal in the country, with women being banned from even driving until very recently. It often ranks for one of the worst countries for women's rights. From my perspective, this doesn't sound like a country the United States should necessarily be supporting. Wahhabism was also founded in Saudi Arabia, and most of the 9/11 hijackers were Saudi. Wahhabism is an extremely conservative sect of Islam and has undoubtedly contributed to the birth of modern extremist groups like Al Qaeda. I have to wonder if some weapons we are giving to Saudi Arabia currently may be used against us eventually. Moreover, even more recently, the American journalist Jamal Khashoggi was brutally killed by Saudi officials in the Saudi embassy in Istanbul. Many think the order came from the crown prince himself, Mohammed bin Salman, who's the leader of Saudi Arabia. We should not show the international community that the United States condones this behavior, as it may lead to more human rights abuses and put journalists at risk across the globe. Saudi Arabia has also been responsible for the ongoing conflict in Yemen. The Houthis and Yemeni government, backed by Saudi Arabia, are in a military standoff that has lasted years. This standoff has led to many civilian casualties, and the United States helping aid Saudi Arabia is helping to prolong this humanitarian crisis. Additionally, this conflict seems to stem from long-held tensions between the Sunni and Shia sects of Islam, a dispute that has gone on for a very long time and something the United States has absolutely no business getting involved in and will likely not change. Our failure in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is further proof that we can't solve these long-standing, faraway disputes. Al Qaeda, another group that disdains the United States, are also attacking the Houthis, further complicating this conflict and getting us involved with yet another group that hates us. Our military involvement to support Saudi Arabia seems to be a sort of proxy war against Iran. Many think that the former leader of Yemen, to whom there are many loyalists, was backed by Iran. Many groups that would like to see harm done to the United States are involved in the Yemen conflict, and we need to stop intervening at once. Fights that are not our own, with cultures that are far away and want nothing to do with us, can jeopardize our own future national security. The United States' failure in Iraq and the creation of ISIS further serves us with the reason that the United States needs to stop military intervention in the Middle East. Supporting Saudi Arabia with weapons, particularly, may aid the creation of more terrorist organizations that may try to harm the United States and its interests in the future. In conclusion, the United States should stop supporting Saudi Arabia with weapons and military support because the Saudi government is guilty of human rights abuses and the recent murder of an American journalist. We should not give Saudi Arabia a free pass on human rights violations just because of their status as an ally and their strategic importance. In the news today, I read that the United States and France are helping boost Saudi Arabia's military to protect their oil fields. So even though I do not think we should support the Saudis, I do not see our military support ending anytime soon. Thank you for listening to my video about why the United States should stop supporting Saudi Arabia with military aid and weapons.